Is sports pandering over or not? Where are we in the world? Let's get a little controversial. Let's have some fun. Let's break it down. Let's get some feedback going because I think it's a funny-ass story. There's a funny-ass story out of ESPN today.
I think it's hilarious as could be. Your dude, Jack Mack from Barstool.
Got to give him credit. Yeah, Love that guy.
Got to give him credit because he broke it down in the funniest way. So ESPN.
Well, not only that, KFC, good dude. Yeah. He was on our bonus show, Overpromised. Catch that on Fox Sports Radio's YouTube page. Portnoy, Big Cat. All the other guys get more props. And my favorite is Jack Mack. I think he deserves all the props and all the ass. That guy's great.
Yeah, why don't you go DM him or something?
Well,
hey, man.
Chicks were always saying they want a guy that makes them laugh. He's the funniest of all of them.
So he posted this earlier, and I'll give him props because they took it down so quick I didn't see it. ESPN posts a mural of icons. And Covino said this conversation is along the lines of, are we done pandering? Because every time you try to pander, even if your intention is of good spirit and good heart, and you're trying to do the right thing. I mean, look what happened to Bud Light a couple years ago. Bud Light puts a transgender person holding a beer bottle and beer can, and that company had to spend years to recover.
Yeah, put him in a bad situation. That's for sure. So when it comes to sports pandering, are we over it? Are we in a time or entering a time where let's be real about things, are we not living in the real?
No, look who just took the biggest misstep. Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel, they know their audience, or do they? Change the logo, going super liberal.
Weren't you on the logo, the original logo?
Stop. I think that...
Get it, Rich?
I think that you're seeing brands like making just like boneheaded mistakes that don't need to be made.
Well,
Bud Light, Cracker Barrel.
I still believe we should live in a world where you don't want to just ruffle feathers just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that, especially in what we do. We're not trying to piss off half the audience. Absolutely not. We're here to have fun and try to have a good conversation. But when ESPN puts out this icon mural, and we say this respectfully, we're just telling you the story. We had a great experience at ESPN. Not talking smack, just talking Jack Mack, talking facts. When you leave out, let's just say Tiger Woods, and I don't know, most of the MLB, all of the UFC, when you don't put any fighters in there, and you only put icons that pertain to whatever it is you're promoting.
What your agenda is. Or
I was trying to avoid that word, but that's really what it is.
But it's wild. Like, you look at this mural.
Isn't that just straight up BS to anybody with half a brain?
Dude, I mean, you gotta have your head so far up your ass to think that this mural is in some type of weird agenda. All the icons, all the moments, all of ESPN. There's 10 WNBA players on this mural.
10. You could name maybe 4 of them. And it's not only that. You know, you're looking around, you're like, that guy's an icon? This dude's an icon. Who's that? That's an icon. Okay.
Where's Mike Tyson?
And I guess, yes,
Where's anyone?
I couldn't find anyone that I was looking for, in fact. Rich has it right there in front of him. And we just want to know if we're living in a time where we're over it. So
I just think that...
Who really is an icon?
I guess, Covino, what I want to point out is just simply, like you said, are we just over it? Meaning, everyone's trying to do the nice, right thing, but is that sentiment just like overblown now? Like, all right, we get it. Everyone wants to be nice, but don't...
Well, if you take the temperature of the public's opinion, you would have to say, yeah, there's a lot of people over it because they got so much backlash from it that they were forced to take it down. That's why a lot of you missed it.
I don't know if they were forced. I think embarrassingly took it down, right? I mean,
not forced. Yeah. No one, the head of ESPN didn't say, take it down now, but they were forced based on all the negative feedback that they got. They were getting hit so hard with, come on, man, these are icons? You know who was on there? I thought it was funny. I mean, again, if it's funny and tongue-in-cheek, yeah, that's okay. Like, the security guy from the Jordan documentary. Remember that guy with the curly afro?
Yes.
He's on the mural. But Tiger Woods is not on the mural. Mike Tyson, I don't see him either, Danny G. Like I said, no UFC fighter.
Where's
no
Joey?
John
Where's
Jones?
Joey Chestnut?
No GSP? No Chestnut? But again, the big, I guess, obvious thing is the 10 WNBA players. No, you're not hating on WNBA players. In fact, later today, we're going to play a game called Chipotle Worker or WNBA Player. That's our way of familiarizing everybody with WNBA players. But to put 10 of them there, it's a little overboard. It's a little much. It's starting to rub people the wrong way. Like, hey, are we just, like Rich said, pandering, or are we being real about this stuff? Is it a joke because you got that dude in it, or are you being serious about it?
To me,
so people took it real serious, and I think it caught everybody by surprise.
I don't think anyone should take a mural posted on Twitter with any sense of like, wow, this really made me mad. Like,
yeah, but a mural is an honor, and I was led to believe, is that something painted at ESPN?
No, it looks like something it's a graphic. I'm just saying,
I know.
No one should be mad at this, but it's also just another example of, like, does no one read the room anymore? Again, I think the best example also outside of sports right now is that the Cracker Barrel story, whose stock has plummeted. Like, I just think we've hit a crossroads now where everyone could see through BS, and they're like, this is just silly. Like, what are we doing? Should any sports mural of icons contain 10 WNBA players, no UFC fighters, 3 baseball players? Like,
Is Michael Phelps on there?
I don't know.
But is this a mural of icons of the last 25 years, or is this a mural of icons of the last
Is there any
year and a
icon?
half?
No,
Sam,
it's icons according to some jabroni at ESPN.
It's
That's
they're
really it.
clearly promoting a lot of their own
Jabroni Jones'
properties
favorite.
here.
Yeah.
Like they're promoting, like they have hosts of. There's Dan, you help me out with this. There's a Michigan quarterback, I think. Does anyone know who this guy is?
I think it's supposed to be Bryce Underwood.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he
hasn't
was
taken a snap yet,
So the
right?
guy,
Yeah.
well, okay.
There's a few college stars in there, too. I see Manning's in there.
I don't know.
Yeah, Jeremiah Smith is there as well, near both Arch and Bryce Underwood.
And
I'm not-
college stars, but never took a snap in the
Again,
NFL
I'm not
yet.
mad at this. I just think it's so like
It's a story.
Everyone, when people miss the mark, I'm like, how do people miss the mark so?
If they're icons, we should all know their names, right? We should know who they are and not have to guess on who they are.
So you can simply say it's the misuse of the word icon.
Oh, yeah, Dan Byer, if this was a mural, and again, I'm not mad even 1%. It just caught my eye today. But if this is a mural and it said, the rising sports stars of this generation, I'd say, okay.
Right. So possibly mislabeled?
Because other than, like, who on here, I don't know.
I think they didn't want it to be like 90% men. That's why they did throw some more women in there. But
Why
there's
are
women.
we pretending? Why are we
that's Rich's
pretending?
point.
We're
You know,
pretending that
you-
these
you
10
got-
women are icons.
you got
We're
10
pretending. We're full of baloney,
You got
as
10
they say.
WNBA.
Full of baloney.
10 WNBA players.
I mean, can you name, other than Caitlin Clark and Asia Wilson and Angel Reese?
There's a couple I don't recognize on here.
Exactly, and you care about
And
the WNBA.
they put Juju on there, Juju Watkins, who's not even in the WNBA yet. She is a big star, but she got injured last season.
Come on.
The Najari Kennedy, the pitcher from Texas Tech, the softball pitcher who had an NIL deal over $1 million. She's next to the security guard. So that's from the Jordan
Is Brady
documentary.
in there?
That's
I was wondering who that was.
yes.
Where's Brady at?
I like the mural, like, again, if it said, like, some of the cool faces or rising stars or, you know, but I think, oh, man, it's just like missing the mark. But then again, maybe smart for them because they got us talking about a stupid post.
Who's putting the pie in each other's faces at the top? I don't even know what that's all about. Some of these are like almost like inside jokes at ESPN.
It looks like a Where's Waldo mural.
Yeah, Naomi Osaka made this, and Naomi Osaka is not the player that she was 5 years ago. And she is, I don't want to say front and center, but I looked at the center of the graphic too, guys, to be like, okay, who's your icon of icons? Because that's who you put in the middle.
got Shohei, got LeBron.
So Shohei, LeBron, Asia Wilson, Kevin Durant, and Coco Gauff.
Is Asia
and
Wilson
Eli
the
Manning.
is Asia Wilson the one on the Aces?
Yes.
Okay.
Caitlin Clark, though, off to the left.
Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are the most prominent because they're opposite of each other. I noticed them right away. To me, they stood out just as much as anyone else. So there's so many questions at play here. First one is, aren't we over the pandering, guys? Seems like the public is, because that's why
Because
they're getting all this
every time
backlash.
a publicly traded company or big company is like, we're gonna do something we think is like like the right or nice thing to do.
Perhaps
it backfires every
Yeah,
time.
but perhaps there's people that think,
Bro,
no, that's how you make people popular and iconic.
Reference Bud Light. Reference so many companies that have made mistakes.
I mean,
doing
we've
this.
seen it over and over and over again, but we've lived in that world for years now. So are we at that point where it's done? Sports pandering, especially because you're smarter than that.
Messages in the end zone are no longer a thing.
Well, because sports
because we're not
is something that's defined by numbers and stats. Like you could quantify the actual greatness, right? So you're not fooling anybody. You're like, really? Is that person that great? I have the stats that say otherwise. So sports pandering is like something you really can't fake. So when you do that, a sports fan is like, icon on what planet? Tell me and prove to me. Show me the stats. Show me the baseball reference as to how, or WNBA, as to how they're an icon. Again, it was posted on socials and deleted. The tweet was deleted because of all the backlash. And then the second part of the question is, well, then who really is of icon status? Do you have to be an all-time great, or can you be an up-and-coming great to be part of that? You know, that could be also a fair assessment. Like, hey, they're iconic, but they're on their way up. Or we believe they're going to be icons.
And by the way, Rich, the NFL is bringing back the on-field social justice messaging.
Are you serious?
Yeah, for 2025, yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Dude, there's so many people missing from that. And that was a lot of the feedback, too. So many people missing from the so-called icons.
Again, perhaps trickery as well. Maybe they posted this with the thought of like,
I don't think so. I don't. But that happens a lot. You think they're potentially trolling us.
Maybe they are. They have to be trolling.
I don't think so.
There's also a lesson in here, and it's something that I felt like we talked about behind the scenes here at Fox Sports Radio, where this is what you get when you send like a company-wide thank you. It's very, very choppy waters because you're bound to leave someone out. You read an obituary, it is a ranking of who is important, who isn't, and then you get to the bottom, and then there's everybody else. You send out like a thank you to staff, and you forget one person or yes,
it's like an acceptance speech.
You know what else?
Exactly.
At an award show, it's like, ooh, who did they
Absolutely.
forget?
You know what makes that even worse, though?
Yeah.
Like the in memoriam sort of thing is like, who oversaw that? Who had the final say? And, you know, who dropped the ball? With something like this, you know, we're getting all up in arms, man at arms about it, and we're debating it, and people are mad. But for all we know, you think like some higher up had anything to do with it? It's probably some young idiot whose responsibility is social media, and they put it out there just to say they did something for today. And everyone's making a big deal about it. How do you know who did it?
And
Don't you think that
right.
has something to be said about it?
You're right. Maybe we're over.
Could be a nobody from Nowhereville who
maybe-
just posted something because he had to.
Maybe we're overstating the the process over there.
Yeah. So, but Dan Byer makes a good point. That's why you don't do things like that, because you're going to cause a controversy. How'd you forget this person and that person?
It's like, remember when Tommy Gunn forgot to thank Rocky Balboa when he won?
But again, here's the real evidence as to what we're saying. Dana White just did what? A pretty big deal with Paramount.
Yeah,
Isn't that
but
one UFC
but
person.
it's not ESPN. It's Paramount. So
I know.
So they're not promoting they're not promoting rivals' properties.
That proves the point.
So they're taking these are the icons we have in the sports that we control, that we put on our airwaves.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So you can't really say they're icons if you're leaving out particular sports.
They're ESPN
just
icons.
because.
And there's also ESPN show hosts on there too. So they're
then how does Chestnut not make it on there?
I said
right?
that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, how
yeah.
do we not have Joey?
Yeah, perhaps he was the biggest snub of all in that case.
I think that should be the headline here.
Yeah, who is the biggest snub of all? Covino and Rich, Dan Byer, Danny G, and Sam say Joey Chestnut.
Yeah.
Friend of the program.
Yeah.
And truthfully,
maybe they look at him as a sideshow.
to make it very clear, I really don't care.
And by the way, if they
At
have
all. It just-
ESPN
it was-
broadcasters on there, is Gary Streisky on there? Because we happen to believe he's the best.
I think he's the best.
he is the icon up and
But
coming.
they got
anchor.
Brian Windhurst, right? That dude? Please.
Brian
Windhorst.
Yeah.
Windhorst. Yeah.
Give me a break. That
No, that's
bro.
mean.
That clown?
Hold on. I think he's great. He's
That
knowledgeable.
clown?
He knows his basketball.
Put Gary Streisky and Randy up there.
Yes,
the true talents
I
of that
agree.
network.
I say include them. I think Brian does a great job.
Nah,
so I'm not hating on him.
I don't believe that.
I'm laughing at Rich's reaction. Is what
I don't
I'm
believe that. I
laughing
think
at.
the trash.
No.
Nonsense.
So your thoughts, and again, the deeper question is, you can't really fake the funk when it comes to sports pandering. You have stats to back that up.
Brian
It's not
Windhurst,
like-
the
it's
guy
not
that
like your opinion.
wasn't Brian Windhurst the guy that was pretending like he was tied
Boys
with
with LeBron.
LeBron, and
Yeah.
LeBron was like, "Yo,
Yeah.
I don't know you."
Yeah, but that was rude.
I thought that was funny as hell.
That was rude as hell, man. I thought that was very rude. So again, if you missed it, it's because they took it down. That's like a side story that we thought was kind of fun today. And Rich is rolling his eyes at it,
Well, I guess I
as
just-
as
again-
is many people. That's why it got taken down.